The rhythmic chirping of crickets filled the air as Lena adjusted the loose shutter of the window. Through the opening, she could see the endless expanse of the cornfield swaying gently in the evening breeze. It was a picturesque scene, yet Lena's gaze was distant, her mind far from the rolling waves of wheat. Inside the grand colonial-style house, the atmosphere crackled with anticipation. Clara, resplendent in a flowing white dress, was pacing anxiously in her bedroom. Her reflection stared back at her from the full-length mirror, a vision of elegance and grace. Yet beneath the surface, her heart pounded like a drum solo, echoing her nervousness. Tonight was the night she had been planning for weeks, a night where years of pent-up emotions would finally be laid bare. As the sun began its descent, casting long shadows across the lawn, a sleek black car glided to a stop in front of the house. Out stepped Lena, her figure framed by the setting sun, her presence as radiant as the last rays of daylight. Clara's heart skipped a beat. She recognized that familiar gait, the graceful way Lena held her head. Time seemed to stand still as they locked eyes, the years melting away. In that instant, it was as if the world around them ceased to exist. All that mattered was the connection between these two women, a bond forged in the fires of unspoken feelings and hidden desires. They stood there for a moment, lost in each other's gaze, before Clara broke into a radiant smile and stepped forward. "Lena, you look beautiful," she whispered, reaching out to cup Lena's cheek. The touch of her fingers sent shivers down Lena's spine, a physical manifestation of the emotional turmoil that had been brewing within her for years. Hand in hand, they moved through the house, their steps echoing the rhythm of their beating hearts. Lena marveled at the way Clara's fingers intertwined with hers, the warmth of her touch sending a comforting tingle through her arm. As they walked, memories flooded back, whispering tales of shared laughter, stolen glances, and unspoken yearnings. Each room they passed held a silent story, a testament to the years they had spent apart, wondering what could have been. Finally, they arrived at the place where Clara had first confessed her feelings all those years ago, the very spot that had become the cornerstone of Lena's unspoken love for Clara. Now, surrounded by the echoes of the past, Lena felt the weight of all those years pressing down on them. Taking a deep breath, Lena turned to face Clara, her eyes shining with unshed tears. The dam that had held back her emotions for so long was crumbling, giving way to a torrent of feeling that threatened to engulf her. Before she could stop herself, the words tumbled out, a rush of emotion that had been contained for far too long. "Clara, I loved you then, and I love you now. Every day that I spent working here, every moment we shared, my feelings grew stronger. I couldn't keep pretending that it was just about the job. I had to tell you." Her confession hung in the air between them, a tangible thing, heavy with unspoken longing. Clara's reaction was all that mattered, and as she gazed into those deep pools of brown, Lena's hopes soared. For in Clara's eyes, she saw not only understanding, but a reflection of her own love. A choked sob escaped Clara's lips as the full weight of her feelings crashed over her. The carefully constructed barriers she had erected over the years crumbled, leaving her raw and vulnerable. In that moment, she had no one to blame but herself for the pain that had been inflicted. The scars of the past were a testament to the journey she had endured, a reminder of the strength she had found within herself. "Lena, I'm so sorry," she whispered, her voice thick with remorse. "I never should have kept it from you. I was scared. I was afraid of losing you, afraid of ruining our friendship. Lena reached out, her fingers tracing the lines of sorrow etched on Clara's face. "Don't be sorry," she murmured, her voice soft with understanding. "I know you weren't being intentional. I felt it too. The connection between us. I just thought it wasn't real, that it was only in my head." As they stood there, embraced, the past began to fade away, replaced by the promise of a new beginning. Hand in hand, they turned away from the mirror, leaving behind the ghosts of their past selves and stepping into the unknown of what lay ahead. They sat down on the couch, the plush cushions enveloping them like a warm embrace. Outside, the crickets continued their nightly chorus, serenading the couple with an enchanting melody. The air in the room was thick with emotion, charged with the energy of years of unspoken longing. Clara broke the silence first. Her voice was barely a whisper, yet it carried the weight of emotions that had been bottled up for far too long. "Lena, I've wanted to tell you this for so long. I dreamed of the day when I could finally say these words to you." She paused, taking a deep breath to steady herself. "I love you. I've loved you since we were in high school, since the first time I saw you sitting quietly in the back of the classroom. There was something about your stillness that intrigued me, and as I got to know you, my feelings grew, but I was afraid to confess, afraid to lose you, afraid to ruin the connection we had." Her words hung in the air between them, resonating with the unspoken feelings that had bound them together for so many years. Lena's heart ached for the woman in front of her. She saw the vulnerability beneath Clara's composed exterior, the raw emotion that had been concealed for far too long. Reaching out, Lena gently cupped Clara's face in her hands, her thumbs stroking away the tears that had gathered in the corners of Clara's eyes. "It's all right," she whispered, her voice thick with emotion. "I know I loved you then, and I love you now. Seeing you again, feeling this connection, it made me realize I can't keep pretending." The admission hung between them, a tangible thing, heavy with unspoken longing. Lena's heart raced as she waited for Clara's response. The silence stretched, punctuated only by the chirping of crickets outside. Finally, Clara spoke, her voice trembling slightly. "I'm sorry it took me so long to tell you, Lena. I was afraid, but seeing you, feeling the way I do, it made me realize I can't keep living in fear anymore." As their eyes met, the dam broke. Years of pent-up emotion spilled forth, expressed in a torrent of words that had been bottled up for far too long. "I never stopped thinking about you," Lena confessed, her voice breaking with emotion. "All those nights when I couldn't sleep, I would lie awake, replaying every moment I'd shared with you, wondering what could have been." The weight of their shared history pressed down on them, a reminder of the path they had walked separately, each carrying the burden of unspoken feelings. "I dreamed of this moment," Clara whispered, her fingers tightening around Lena's. "The idea of being able to tell you how I feel, to finally lay my heart bare without fear, it's like a dream come true." Their conversation flowed easily now, the years of separation melting away with each shared memory, each inside joke, each heartfelt confession. It was as if they had never been apart, that their connection had been woven through time itself. Hours flew by and the moon climbed higher in the sky, bathing the room in its soft, ethereal light. As the night deepened, their laughter subsided, replaced by a comfortable silence. Lena leaned against the back of the couch, gazing at the ceiling, a contented sigh escaping her lips. "I can't believe I finally get to say this," she whispered, her voice filled with awe. "To actually be here with you, To know that this is real, it feels like a dream. Clara shifted closer to Lena, her shoulder resting lightly on Lena's arm. Me too, she agreed, her gaze fixed on the intricate patterns on the couch. It's like we're meant to be here, meant to find each other again. They sat in silence, reveling in the shared moment, the years of longing and secrecy forgotten. In that quiet space, their connection deepened, strengthened by the bonds of honesty and vulnerability. As the first rays of dawn began to filter through the curtains, they knew it was time to say goodbye. With heavy hearts, they rose from the couch, their bodies stiff from hours of stillness. The weight of their confessions, the rawness of their emotions, it had taken its toll. Outside, the world was awakening. Birdsong replacing the cricket's nocturnal symphony. It was a new day, a day filled with promise, with the hope of a future they could build together. They stood at the edge of the cornfield, the vast expanse stretching before them, mirroring the endless possibilities that lay ahead. Lena took a deep breath, the crisp morning air filling her lungs. Turning to face Clara, she reached out, her fingers tracing the contours of Clara's face. Tomorrow, we start over, she whispered, her voice hoarse with emotion. We start with a clean slate, with honesty, with us. Clara's eyes shone with tears, her lips curving into a watery smile. Yes, she whispered back, leaning into Lena's touch. We start with us. Hand in hand, they walked away from the house, leaving behind the secrets and sorrows of the past. As they disappeared into the golden hues of sunrise, the cornfield rustled softly, as if sharing their secret, as if whispering their story to the wind.